Yeah, good evening, guys. This is Analysis King. I know it has been a long time that not really long actually, but I know it's like 5 days right now that I've not actually posted any video, right? So I actually wanted to make this quick video, right? I want to make this quick video on what actually you should be taking advantage of, right? So you should take advantage of both sides in the market, right? So I'm actually going to be teaching you guys how to take advantage of both sides in the market, even when you have the overall view in perspective, right? So um, before I start this class, I want to actually thank my father. I want to thank Pastor Jimmy for giving me the opportunity to actually talk to every single person to actually teach people what I actually feel or what I see in the market, right? So, Daddy, I thank you. I thank you for the privilege. I will never take it for granted, right? So let's go to the chart. Let's actually see um, how we can actually take advantage of both sides, right? But remember, the first thing you want to remember is the, or first thing you want to have in your mind, you actually want to have in your mind the overall trend, right? What is the overall trend in the market, right? In this particular trade, you can see that the overall trend from the higher time frame perspective, that the overall trend is the buy side, right? Although if you zoom out a bit, now let's zoom out a bit, you will see that the overall trend changed from a buy side, from a sell side rather, to a buy side. Let me delete all this. Let me delete all this. So we've actually established the fact that we are actually in a downtrend, right? We're actually in a downtrend initially, right? We're actually in a downtrend initially, which was this region here, which was this region here. Now, you can actually see that price was actually creating a series of lower highs. What's happening? Now, you can see that price actually was creating a series of lower highs and lower lows in the market. Now, this was the high. I don't know what's happening to my platform. This was the high. Oh, sorry, this was the lower high. So let me use this. This was the lower high. This was the lower low, right? This was the lower high, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? We now actually made the final lower low, right? Now, you can actually see that from this perspective, we are actually in a downtrend. That's the first thing you want to know. Now, since the trend has been clear, now you will see now that they've actually switched from a sell side to a buy side. They switched from a sell side to a buy side by breaking the high, right? By breaking this particular high, which was actually the high of the week of the weekly. I can't actually go to weekly chart on this particular tree because it doesn't have a weekly, right? So this is just a daily. This is where it ends, right? So, but if you look very closely, I actually have this on my MT4. This particular level was a weekly demand region, right? On my MT4, this particular level was a weekly demand region. Now we can actually see that they've actually shifted from a sell side to a buy side, right? Now we have the buyer perspective in on this trade, right? We have the buying perspective on this trade. But in as much as we have the buying perspective on this trade, most of us will not just be waiting for the trade to actually come back down before we buy. You need to learn to take advantage of both the sell side and the buy side before, the sell side before the overall buy side, right? So the overall move is actually the real move. Why the retracements, like I would say that the retracement is the fake move. Now you need to understand how to take advantage of this fake move. Now let's zoom out a bit. Now, if you zoom out a bit, you will actually see that we actually have broken structure, right? This in on the daily time frame, you can see that we are actually in a downtrend. Now, if you use, let's use the trend line, right? Let's use this trend line. I know a lot of people use the trend line, right? So using the trend line. Now, you can see that we are actually trading in this range, right? We're trading in this range. Price touching this region. Price touching this region. price touching this region, right, creating a series of lower highs and lower lows in the market. Now, price actually made this high, made this final low, which actually was a touch on the trend line, right? But inside that trend line, you can also see lower highs and lower lows being created on the daily. This was the low, this was the high, this was the low, this was the high. So you know that we are actually in a downtrend on the daily. Now, how do you take advantage of this downtrend on the daily? Now, what was the one of the characteristics of that we actually saw for a valid demand or a supply region? First of all, you want to see trend. Second thing you want to see is structure. Have it clear in mind that this move down here is just a retracement move, which I call a fake move. It's just a retracement move to actually go higher, right? It's just a retracement move to actually go higher. But you need to learn to take advantage of the retracement move, right? You need to learn to take advantage of the retracement move, which is actually this move, right? Now let's see what let's see how to actually get our supply zone. Now, structure has been taken out here. Now, which supply zone is valid? This particular supply zone is valid. Now, you can see that this supply zone was valid. Why was it valid? Why was it valid, right? Why was this supply zone valid? Because structure has been taken out, right? Structure has been taken out by this particular structure. Took this low out. Structure took this low out to actually make this supply zone valid. Now you would have taken your trade inside this particular region here, right? You would have taken your trade inside this particular region here, inside this region. Why? Because, like I said, the initial move on the daily is a downtrend, right? The initial move on the daily is a downtrend. Now, if you are taking this trade on the daily, right? But most people will not have that particular equity to take it on the daily. Now let's go to our 8 hour. Let's see if you can see the zone on our 8 hour. Now, you can actually see the zone very clearly on your 8 hour, right? You can actually see the zone very clearly on your 8 hour. Now, this was the zone. This was the zone on your 8 hour. I know I have thought about refining your entries, right? This was the zone on it. Now, what I'm actually teaching is how to take advantage of both the sell side, right? Sometimes you might hear me say I'm actually buying to sell, right? Because I am selling the fake move and to buy the real move, right? So this particular thing right here is the real, is the fake move to actually go on to buy to the downside, right? To buy to the downside. Now, if you had gone back to your 4 hour, you would have seen that this particular region right here, was a very good supply region, right? This was a very good supply region. Why? Even on the 4 hour, you would have seen that structure was taken out, right? Structure was taken out on this particular region. Now, price came back into this particular region to fill this order block. Once price came back to fill this order block, I would have been looking for my sell entry around this region. Remember that you are selling to buy. So you always want to take advantage of both the sell side and the buy side, because you know that on a longer time frame perspective, this particular trend is a buy trend, right? Because we have changed from a buy side to a sell side, right? Now, if you go back to your daily, you will actually see that the trend of the sell side has been over, right? Why was this sell side over? Because on the daily high was taken out. If you look very closely, right? Let me zoom out a bit. If you look very closely, you will see that price has taken out this particular high that actually made this low. Remember that we are also in this weekly overall demand. So once price gets here, I would have been looking for a buying opportunity, right? I would have been looking for a buying opportunity to actually buy the trade. You can see now that price bought, and as price bought, price now created a demand zone.
Once price bought, they created a demand zone to take out the liquidity around this region, because most people were actually selling from this. The initial sellers were actually selling from this region, forgetting the fact that we are actually in a buy or in a buy structure, right, on the higher time frame. Now they've taken a liquidity, they came back into this demand zone that was created, and they are moving higher, right? You can see now that they've been moving higher for some days now. You would have actually taken this trade also. Now this particular region has become a liquidity region, where you now look at this region as your potential areas for TP. Why? Because the structure has changed from a sell side to a buy side. So all these highs and the lows in the market are actually your liquidity point. So all I will be looking for is an entry, right? Now we can see that structure has been taken out here. I'll be looking for a retracement back down, right, to take price, right, to actually take price to this particular region right here to take out liquidity. So you need to understand how to buy and how to sell in the market, taking advantage of both sides in the market, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification button to know when I post a video. And the link of my Telegram group will be in the description below. Then I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers and God bless.